After nearly 2 years of conflict, a fragile calm has settled across Israel, Gaza and the West Bank. The ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, brokered with the mediation of the United States, Egypt, Qatar and Turkey, is beginning to show results, with hostages being freed, prisoners released and humanitarian aid flowing into Gaza. On the morning of October 13th, Hamas released all 20 remaining Israeli hostages held in Gaza. The release happened in 2 stages. The first 7 hostages were handed to the International Committee of the Red Cross early in the morning, followed 2 hours later by the remaining 13. Israel confirmed that all 20 had safely reached Israeli territory. These hostages had been held for more than 2 years. Israel has not yet released information on their physical or psychological condition, but the moment marks the end of a long period of uncertainty and fear for their families and the nation. The first hostages were freed just as President Donald Trump arrived in Israel to mark the ceasefire. Trump, who played a key role in brokering the agreement, was greeted by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He addressed the Israeli parliament before traveling to Egypt for a signing ceremony with world leaders, including the UK's Prime Minister, France's President, Germany's Chancellor, Qatar's Emir, and Canada's Prime Minister. Netanyahu's participation highlighted the importance of resolving the conflict. Simultaneously, Israel began releasing nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners. About 1,700 of these had been held without charge during the 2-year conflict, and 250 were serving long-term sentences for attacks against Israelis, including murder and terrorism. Some have been imprisoned for decades, with the longest-serving detainee incarcerated for nearly 40 years. Buses carrying freed prisoners arrived in the West Bank city of Ramallah and in Gaza. The releases are politically and emotionally charged. For Israelis, many prisoners have been convicted of attacks that killed civilians and soldiers, making the process difficult to witness. For Palestinians, prisoners represent political and social symbols, often viewed as freedom fighters resisting military occupation. Humanitarian relief is also ramping up. Israel has agreed to allow more aid into Gaza, with hundreds of trucks carrying food, medicine and essential supplies crossing from Egypt. Humanitarian organizations stressed the urgency. Gaza City had been in the grip of famine, and without a steady flow of aid, hunger and disease could have worsened. Much of Gaza remains in ruins. More than 2 million residents, almost all displaced by the conflict, face the daunting task of rebuilding their lives. The Hamas-run Health Ministry reports over 67,000 Palestinians killed since the war began in October 2023, while Israel reports nearly 470 of its soldiers lost in combat. Beyond humanitarian relief, deep political issues remain unresolved. Israel wants Hamas to disarm, while Hamas insists that Israeli forces withdraw from all of Gaza. The future governance of the territory under Hamas control for 2 decades remain uncertain. Both sides face decades of distrust, making any long-term peace fragile. For now, the hostages have returned, prisoners are being freed, and aid is flowing. Thanks for watching. For more such videos, follow The Hindu.